Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. As you can tell, I'm currently back at home because by the time you were watching this, a week ago was my college graduation ceremony, because the video that you watched from me 2 days ago was actually filmed almost a week ago as well. But anyway, without any further ado, the first book on this list is called If Tomorrow Doesn't Come. This story is a YA kind of dystopian contemporary because it follows a young lesbian with depression who is in a setting where an asteroid is about to hit Earth in 9 days. So that's fun. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic type of world building, you know what I mean? But anyway, this book was absolutely so amazing and so well done. And I really loved it, so I rated it 5 out of 5 stars because first of all, the writing was so lyrical and absolutely so pretty and so beautiful. The plot was so intriguing, so engaging, absolutely so tender and so well done. The characters were all so well developed and so distinct. The sapphic best friends to lovers romance was so cute and absolutely so adorable. I loved their chemistry so much. Literally, the romance is absolutely so pretty and it's so beautiful. I loved it so much. The mental health representation was spot on, so good, so awesome. This book made me cry because I was so emotionally connected to the events as well as to the characters, and everything about this book is absolutely so amazing, and it's so unbelievably exquisite, you know what I mean? Anyway, overall, I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars, and with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Bitterthorn. This book is a YA standalone fantasy gothic sapphic novel that follows a young sapphic main character who volunteers herself to be the witch's companion, where historically they don't come back. I didn't absolutely love this book as much as I was really expecting to, but I should have expected being disappointed by this book because the reasons as to why I dislike this book for the most part all symptoms of the gothic genre, so I definitely should have done my own research before entering this book because this book was not like what I wanted it to be, if that makes any sense. I had really high expectations for this book because the author previously wrote the Dangerous Remedy trilogy, which is not gothic at all, and it's more of a YA historical fantasy, and it also has more than one perspective as well, which I definitely prefer. But anyway, overall, this book, it was good, it was solid, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, and here's why. The plot was slower than I wanted it to be. The characters definitely had potential, but for me, I don't love their romance very much, so towards the end, I found myself not really caring anymore. The world building was definitely intriguing, and it was immersive at times. I do enjoy, the castle gothic setting, but for me, since I wasn't really emotionally invested in the characters or in the romance or in their connection at all, that's where the book really fell flat for me personally. So anyway, overall, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars. I definitely prefer the Dangerous Remedy trilogy, even though that's a completely different genre and everything. So anyway, overall, take that as you will. The next book on this list is called Slip. This story is a YA contemporary magical realism graphic novel, and I really enjoyed it. It follows a young sapphic main character who's trying to focus on herself at this new art summer intensive when her best friend from home attempts suicide. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the illustrations were so pretty, and I really enjoyed them because they made the world building and the setting so much more vivid than it already was. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The sapphic romance was so well paced and so well developed and absolutely so adorable, and I literally love them so much. Literally, this book is so good and it's so underrated. The mental health representation was done so well. I just loved it all so much. Literally, in every single element was so well developed and so well paced. This story is absolutely so immersive. I just really enjoyed it all so much. So anyway, all that to say, I rated this story 4 out of 5 stars, and with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Lose You to Find Me. This story is a YA contemporary that follows a young gay teenager who discovers that the new hire at his restaurant job is his old crush, whom he hasn't seen in 6 years. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good, and I really enjoyed it. First of all, the romance was absolutely so well paced and so cute and so adorable, and their connection and chemistry made so much sense. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging, and I ate it up, which is an unintentional food pun reference since the main character works in a restaurant. But anyway, this book is so fantastic. The characters were all so well developed and so distinct. The friendships were so lovely and so authentic. The family dynamics were so sweet and so wholesome. Literally, this book is so good. The characters, the plot, the romance, everything about it felt so awesome and so authentic. I was so immersed in this story from the very beginning to the end. And with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. I had really low expectations for this book because the book that the author debuted with last year, I rated 3 out of 5 stars. So I wasn't exactly expecting to rate anything higher that he has written. But this book was so good and it was absolutely so adorable. So anyway, all that to say, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars. And with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called They Hate Each Other. This story is a YA contemporary following a pair of bisexual boys who get along like oil and water, except that their new fake dating ploy gives them both a new perspective. This story is so fantastic, and it's absolutely so good. And honestly, when I started it, I wasn't expecting it to live up to all of its hype, and literally so much more. I mean, yes, on the one hand, I do love fake dating, and I know that it's so much better when it's queer fake dating, because I literally love the trope so much. It's so cute, and the romance made so much sense. But also on the other hand, I was a little bit afraid that the mature subjects talked about in this story in both of the main characters' backstories and family lives would be a little bit too triggering for me personally. And don't get me wrong, at times they were, but overall, this story is so good. Speaking of those mature topics, they were handled so well, and don't get me wrong, they are covered in the content warnings at the very beginning of this book, so please remember to read them before you start this book at all. But anyway, aside from that, the plot was so intriguing and so engaging. Like I said, the romance made so much sense, and I love the two of them so much as well individually. Their characters are so well developed and so distinct. I love the friendships. I love the family dynamics. This book is so good, and I really enjoyed it. So overall, I rated this story 4 out of 5 stars. And with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. So, in conclusion, I think I'll be staying home for the rest of the summer. If I don't get a job established by September, I will have to consider a master's degree, in case you were wondering about my life updates. But anyway, as I mentioned before, May has been a great reading month, and I really hope that it continues to be, and it continues on that trajectory. Although I really think that it will, because I have really high hopes for the rest of the month, since I have so much more free time now. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the piano emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!